Great. Well, then at this point, if we're going to go past 4, 5, 6, it's question 9, I believe. Is that correct, Victoria? Where's she gone? Yes. I'd like to invite Victoria Nicholson up to speak to this. Question 9 on your agenda, should OUSA rescind the SGM meeting motion 1492, 1606, 1706, and void the referendum results of July 2005 and adopt the motion that OUSA recognizes the existence of the Code of Student Conduct and will work with the university to ensure that students' best interests are taken into account in its application as external policy. Victoria, would you like to tell us why you'd like to do this?
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting, guys. I have a meeting I have to get to pretty soon, so I wanted to get this through and have some time for discussion if necessary before I have to run away. Essentially, the problem at the moment with leaving these motions in place is that it means that OUSA is openly opposing the Code of Conduct. And as I'm sure you guys are aware, following the High Court hearing last year, it's been established that the University Council can keep the student representatives, so Harriet and myself, off the appeals board hearings for Code of Conduct issues. And the worrying thing with this is that we've seen this year a trend to come down very harshly on students who breach the Code of Conduct, even when they've been through the court system and have had other sanctions placed against them. And every time a decision is made in the appeals board to exclude or suspend a student, it sets a precedent for next time. And so next time it comes up, they say, oh, well, we did it last time, so we'll do it again now. And the concern is the longer we leave it before we change these motions and allow student representatives back on the appeals board, the more of these precedents will be set and the harder it will be to have any kind of change in how the Code of Conduct is applied to students. So the change in the motion that I'm putting forward is not to say that we agree wholeheartedly with the Code of Conduct and we think it's great and it's wonderful, saying that we recognise it's there, we recognise we've gone through avenues such as a High Court hearing to appeal it, it hasn't worked, we're recognising that it exists and we want to work with the university to ensure it's applied appropriately, which we do have a very good chance of doing if we're able to get back on the appeals board. That's essentially it. If you guys have any questions, I'm quite happy to answer them.
Any questions for Victoria?
This one's just from me. I just wonder how the university justifies it, considering we're not an executive member. Not that I think that's a reasonable argument to start with, but I can't understand how they would even say that, considering...
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that the exec, when they chose me for the position last year, considered, was that I'm not affiliated with the OUSA exec and therefore might be able to be on the appeals board for Code of Conduct cases. What's been decided is that because I'm a student representative and there have been motions passed by the student body and through OUSA, and that I'm duty bound to uphold those motions ethically, that therefore I also can't be on the appeals board. I know it's a very tenuous link and I personally don't agree with it because there have been instances that I could foresee where I might not go with motions that have been made in OUSA SGMs, but that's the way it currently stands. And our processes to appeal that have really been exhausted. So now we need to work with it rather than simply continue trying to oppose it.
Right. Any other questions for Victoria circling around the Code of Conduct and OUSA's external policy on it? No? Well, if not, I'd like to thank Victoria for her change, and this will be put to an online vote between the 11th and the 14th of October.